Chris, obviously you'll be asked about the Minka trade shortly, but one big picture rebuilding plan I want to clarify with you. You'll obviously, besides having a ton of draft picks, you'll have a ton of cap space next offseason. Would your hope be to go out and spend on impact starting caliber free agents before the draft with the hope of being a competitive team next year? Or would you think it'd be best to hold off on major free agent spending until you've gone through a draft or two more in the cycle?
Yeah, no, we've talked about building this long term with sustained success right away. And for us, we'll be very aggressive. We're not going to sit here on a bunch of money or anything. I mean, the plan is to build a winner here. No one likes losing. And we've talked about building a team that's going to win and win and compete for championships for a long time instead of being in this 1 year and then you fall back for 2 or 3. So, again, it's a long-term vision, but we will be aggressive.
Chris, what is the time schedule as far as, say, getting to the playoffs, getting to a Super Bowl, having a winning record, things along those lines?
Yeah, I don't know if you really put a time frame with it. For us, it's we've positioned ourselves to where we think the organization will be in a good place here shortly. But how long that takes, like I said, we'll be aggressive free agency. And, again, we're not going to sit back and not do anything. We're going to be very proactive and try and get this turned quickly.
Why are you giving up on 2 of your last 4 first-round picks?
Once I give it up, with Laramie, that was when we got a phone call where they kept pursuing us. Multiple times we talked and kept telling them no and what it would take, and they came and offered it. And funny story I was saying the other day was called Laramie about the trade, and Laramie walked in my office and saw it on the board and goes, "I would trade me for that." So, but seriously, we were not trying to do it. And then with Minka, it was just one of those things. The player had expressed that, maybe time for him to change. And so we tried to make it work. Myself, Brian, Steve had multiple conversations with him about saying we wanted him here, viewed him as a core piece and wanted him here. And the kid just felt it was time for him to move. And we told what the value was. We told teams, and we had multiple offers. And we felt that the Pittsburgh one was the one best for the organization.
Chris, you've lost the first 2 games by a combined roughly 90 points. Obviously, season tickets are not cheap. What would you say to fans who are wondering if they're getting their money's worth?
I would say the fans that I appreciate their support, and they deserve a winner. We're trying to build them the winner. I would think the fans would also say that the cycle we've been for the last 10-plus years is not good enough, and we're trying to right that as fast as we can. But they deserve a winner, and we're trying to do that for them.
What do you believe you can do with up to 7 picks in the first 3 rounds next year?
We can do anything we want, whether it's free agency as well and the draft. So for us, we positioned ourselves, we think, where we can do anything or get whatever player we feel that will help us as soon as possible.
You going to trade anybody who wants out? Sound like Minka came to you and said he wanted to be traded. So will you try to move people if they want to be moved now?
No. Like, for us, we had the multiple conversations with Minka. We told him we wanted to be here multiple times. Brian, Steve, myself, we all expressed that. And for us, when we got to a point where we weren't sure if it was going to work, we said, hey, if we get the value we deemed was worth moving them, we would do it. So there's no precedent here where any player is going to come in and say, I want out, we're going to do it. So, again, I have not had any calls from any agents or any players asking to want out. We've extended some of our younger players, Xavier, et cetera, Jakeem, and all those guys are bought in 100%, and they told me again as much Monday. So we have a good group of young guys that want to be here.
Chris, did Minka say why he didn't want to be here?
I'll let him talk about that but it was nothing. He likes Brian a lot, likes here. It's just, he had talked a little bit about some of the position stuff he thought. And Brian, I know I told you guys the Patrick Chung story and stuff. So, I'll just leave that for Brian and Minka.
What have you said to Brian Flores about this situation?
No, Brian and I have been lockstep on it. So, again, we've had a lot of conversations. Brian and I communicate every day. I talk to Steve every day. So, we're in this 100% together, believe in Brian. He's a great leader, a great man. I think he's the right guy to lead us through these times. So for us, Brian is a good football coach. He's a good man, and Minka said he appreciated that about Brian. Really liked him, and it was just too bad it didn't work out.
Chris, what is the plan for Josh Rosen this season, and have you guys kind of zeroed in on a quarterback for next season?
Yeah. No, in terms of Josh, we just want him to keep developing. For him, it's been and he will tell you it's been an eye-opener. He said he's learned more here in the last couple of months than he has, and he said his whole career. And so for him, having someone like Fitz to mentor him and to be that kind of veteran influence to help him has been great. And I think, when he's ready to go, if the coach's deem it's time for him to play, he'll play. But the good thing for us is we see him every day. We see him in the meetings, see how he prepares and learns and handles himself. So we've been very pleased so far. So when the coaches feel they want to make a change, if they want to do, then that will happen.
And drafting a quarterback in the first round, are you committed to that for 2020?
We're going to do whatever we can to make our team better right away. And, for us, yeah, I mean, we've all talked about the quarterback being an important piece, and it's competition. We're not shying away from that. So whoever's here, there's going to be competition at every position, whether it's quarterback, D-line, wide receiver, O-line. So, yes.
Chris, when you guys set up the strategy last January,
Mm-hmm.
February, March, was this part of it, or is it the season predicated you'd make change, trade Laramie and Weiss, so to take the roster down further than you expected?
Yeah, I would say very unexpected as far as the Laramie and Minka situations. You can't prepare for that, and I'm not going to sit up here and lie about it. But for us, the opportunities as well were kind of unique, with a little bit of the historic haul for him and Kenny, what we're getting, and so I think for us to strike on those opportunities, because we know as the team was built right now, it wasn't going to win a Super Bowl, and much less it'll be hard to compete for a playoff spot. So, again, we're trying to build a team that's going to win right now and do it, and a long-term winner and bring a championship here, hopefully, to South Florida.